Mute yourself. I think my wife would ever stay on me.
Hey guys, so welcome to the Emergency Services Committee meeting for February 9th, 2026 at 6 p.m. I just need to call the meeting to order. So just need a mover in a second. Here's a move by Donna and second by Alan that the meeting be opened at 6 p.m. All in favor? The adoption of the agenda. I need a mover in a second. Move by Alan. And second by I'll just do them all today.
Yeah.
That the agenda for the Emergency Services Committee meeting for February 9th, 2026 be approved as circulated. All in favor? Any disclosure of pecuniary interests? No. Any adoptions of previous minutes? So again, a mover and second now. So moved by Alan, second by Donna, that the minutes of the Emergency Services Committee meeting held December 15th, 2025 be adopted as circulated. All in favor? Carried. No presentations of delegations. Which brings us down to staff reports. We should do an introduction before we do a staff report. So Alan has been our CEMC for 4 years. Thank you, sir. He's done a great job for the township and really got everything up to standards. Is unfortunately leaving. He's moving with his family out of the area and no longer able to hold that role with us. So we've hired somebody new. So this is Jason Maitland. So he'll do some brief introduction of his qualifications and welcome to the team, Jason.
Well, thank you for that. It's a pleasure to be here. So I've got about 25 years experience in health and safety. That encompasses emergency management. Started off in the private sector, and that morphed into partnering with the public sector as well. Doing exercises, doing training, very familiar with the incident management system. Looking forward to picking up and continuing the good work from Alan and serving the township as best as I can.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And so our deputy fire chief is here today. So 6A is our report from our fire chief. And he's leading operations, training, and community involvement.
I have a report here prepared by Fire Chief Sean McGee. This report is for a 2-month period because we did not have a meeting last month. So we currently sit at 18 operational volunteer members. And during this reporting period, we responded to 16 calls for service, 14 medicals, 1 grass fire, and 1 vehicle overheating. And last year we did 98 calls for service, which represents a 50% increase over the prior year.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Can you speak to that for a second? Is that more people are living in this area? Does that we just have more people to respond to calls? Was it more active of a department?
I think it's a combination of all of that. Yeah. So the training report. So we've been working on practical and theoretical firefighting skills. Our training nights are very well attended. We've got an average of 18 to 20 per night. Just been fantastic. Our key focus area has been motor vehicle collisions with extrication, winter drafting operations. We did a operation down at the government dock. Medical assessments, basic medical stuff with some of our junior members that aren't trained yet. Equipment checks and health and safety or safety and hazard awareness. We always do our equipment checks. That's the start of the training night, just checking your PPE, checking your SCBAs, making sure everyone's fire ready. Maintenance activities. So we put new blades on the ice auger. It's winter, so we've been winterizing pump of 5 just to make sure that the valves and the drain ports aren't going to freeze on us. And I'm always keeping the SCBA's refill to, we call it 1800 PSI, which is kind of like the minimum you'd want to have them on. So we've been doing lots of SCBA comfortability training, so going through lots of air, but it's good training for young members. All of our equipment is confirmed operational according to the NFPA standards. So we are constantly updating maintenance logs, accountability. And we're getting the junior firefighters involved in doing these checks as well, so that they're ready when they're turning to. Special training, so we've been preparing for NFPA certifications. We did a batch of certifications in November. We have another testing session upcoming in the middle of February. There's also a hazmat course coming up, which is part of the Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2 certifications. Practical firefighting skills are led by Ben firefighter or training officer Ben Pastula. And firefighters are actively taking some self-paced courses online, which is they're doing swift and ice water rescue. There's a lithium ion battery course. There's IMS 100 is a big one that we've been pushing to. Fire chief has completed key performance indicators, which is call volumes and the number of members that have been attending calls. As I said, 98 calls was finished last year, which is a 50% increase over the prior year. 73% of our calls were medical in nature, which is due to the aging population of Bonfield. So the fire chief recommends that the committee reviews and formalizes the medical tiered response agreement between the township of Bonfield Fire Department and DSAB. And all of our responding firefighters hold a valid minimum certification of standard first aid CPR, which is mandatory under the agreement. So this is an agreement that we have to review annually. The fire chief has also drafted an attendance management policy, which is an internal policy that just keeps our members active and in setting minimum guidelines for that activity. Fire chief and the entire Bonfield Fire Department congratulate firefighter Trevor Cottle as being selected as the volunteer firefighter of the month for January. Trevor has achieved a ton in a short time with us, and we look forward to what the future holds for Trevor. And there's also a recommendation that from the fire chief that we promote firefighter Zach Mason to captain, and also the hiring of Brian Lyons, Skylar Manette to our active roster. Fire prevention ongoing during lighter calls and incidents, and with the net zero program, we've had the smoke seal alarms that we can give out to our residents, and we've delivered 9 of those so far. For community involvement, the fire department participated in the Battle of the Badges. So that was Mattawa, Papineau Cameron, Calvin, and Bonfield. So it was a hockey game in Mattawa, or sorry, a hockey tournament in Mattawa, where the firefighters played against paramedics in OPP. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of fun. We didn't fare out so well, but we had a blast. So
Awesome. Is this an annual event?
yeah, well, so I think this was the second year that they've done it, so they want to keep kind of
Is this
rolling
the
it.
first year Bonfield?
First year Bonfield's been
that's
involved.
great.
Yeah.
It's very good to hear.
Yeah, so they raised money in food donations for the Mattawa food bank. That's us.
Oh, and then you participated in a fireworks show.
We did.
So
yeah.
we now have 3 certified fireworks.
Yeah, so Alex
Professional?
needed that last show to finish his license, and then any shows that we do now are kind of maintaining the license. You still need to do 3 shows within a 5-year period in order to maintain the supervisor level.
Well, that'll, our July 1st will take care of that. So,
Matt and Alex have another one this Saturday or Sunday as well.
Their neighbors upstairs.
Yeah.
Their family. Yes.
That was good.
So 7, items for committee discussion. 7A, review the Bonfield tiered response agreement provided by this fire chief.
It's pretty standard. We have an executed agreement already? Is this just updating this?
It's on the agenda for tomorrow night at council to get the formal agreement signed.
Okay.
I think that this one has lapsed, if I understand correctly.
Oh,
Mhm.
oh, awesome. So we're getting our paperwork all sorted. Makes sense. And this is just boilerplate, regular.
Review the training and responsiveness policy provided by the fire chief. So CAO and I went over a few things that people have been working on, so it seems like everybody is kind of progressing through the action items and things that we'll do, so seems like everybody is working on this stuff. 7C, receive an update on the CEPG project provided by the CEMC.
Okay, that was our, there it is, right in the corner, the, on all one computer and 2 radios. We have an all one computer at the fire hall and the scanner, and we have some radios, and that represents about $48,000 or $49,000 worth of equipment. What that allows us to do is, this is a dispatch station. In the event of a call out, you can put a dispatcher on here, and then that dispatcher will have access to all the voice log radio communications, where people are. It integrates with the existing systems that you have. And the 2 radio frequencies there, one is Public Works and one is the fire department. So in the event that there is an emergency and the EOC is activated, people in the EOC can hear both communications and coordinate activities between the 2 groups. Rather than having that go person to person in the field, which is oftentimes point of confusion and stuff gets mixed. Direct communication is good, but there needs to be a coordinating body, and that's the purpose of the EOC. So it's done. Fortunately or unfortunately, we came in a little bit under budget, and things were a little cheaper than we originally forecasted. So I didn't realize we got paid and we had to give money back, but so I'm sorry, we got to give a little bit of money back to the departments. I should have tried harder, but I tried to spend it as best I could. So I think it's a successful project, and our next steps is training, and we've got commitment from Spectrum to come in and train us and put it to good use. So it's there for our purpose. So I'm just waiting for the next knock on wood emergency.
7D, receive an update on the 2025 compliance report provided by the CEMC.
That's an easy one. We are compliant. We achieved all 13 items. I think we did reasonably well on everything, and we excelled in some areas, like public education and our responses to. We had an actual event. We got an exemption for that for the tabletop. Nothing like doing the real thing, and so. We gained a ton of experience. We learned a lot of lessons. I think we did a great job at documenting it and some history for future folks that are coming in to deal with this. So as much as an emergency can be a good thing, that we did learn from it, and we got through it, and I think modestly, I say we did a great job managing the emergency in Bonfield by everybody here in the fire department, the municipality, Public Works, our counselors, and managing communications and messaging, and our emergency information officer. So it was a good job done, Bill.
So for this year then, what are we looking for an evacuation plan? What's coming up to go? So I think we're in really good shape when we review the actual plan. what are some of our next steps?
Uh, there's a couple things that on the horizon that on my wish list. And one of them is a coup. We
Yeah.
definitely need a coup.
Which is a continuity of operations. Yes.
We need to address the situation of the emergency evacuation center, which was not an emergency evacuation
Yes,
center,
yeah.
so we need to get that entrenched in the documentation.
Yes, and if we
to-
define it as a reception center
Correct.
where we do R&I and then, and so I think our mutual aid agreements are gonna be, really pivotal in figuring out what we're doing and how we're moving people, right? So emergency social services is what I did as part of my job, so I think it's important that people know where to go and, you know, I think Bonfield could, benefit from, and I think we have it, some kind of buddy system or registry so that we know where our vulnerable pop is and. you know,
We did a lot of that during the condition assessment for the fire department.
Yeah,
last
yeah,
year.
which is awesome.
So we have some sense and of where a lot of work there to do. We did start on populating our CGIS system with fire calls, where we're getting the fire
Yeah.
calls, and some basic information. That needs a lot of work, but that's just fairly labor intensive, as I discovered.
Yeah,
So we're probably gonna need some help there in putting together a plan on how we're gonna actually
Yeah.
implement that, right? It was a great idea, but implementation, it was probably taking more than we anticipated, but it will be a good tool.
yeah,
It's leading best practice. You know, a lot of communities are doing this in a much bigger way, but I think we can put together a reasonable product in a more scaled approach, right?
yeah.
We're a
I
smaller
would like
community.
to see some kind of multi-jurisdictional exercise where we actually call in mutual aid and we work with our communities. I mean, disasters don't end at the border, as we saw with the flooding, right?
No, that brings up a good point, actually. The Emergency Management Ontario and our lake sector up down in Foss
Right.
is really promoting a regional approach to emergency management. So we are as smaller communities can really leverage each other because
Yes.
we're not in a huge geographical area. You know, we're very close together, but we're very small and limited in resources. So
Yes.
things like the event we had earlier on, if Calvin couldn't get to their EOC, they could have established here.
Exactly.
But you need to do that in advance.
You
can't-
absolutely, you cannot
can't
do
do
it on the fly,
during
yeah.
on the fly. So those are some lessons learned that we can leverage each other
Yes.
and our strengths and
I think we need to leverage the fort as well that EMO has set up. And maybe even promote it some kind of educational. So that's where you can volunteer and then go and be trained. And then the province can call you out to go anywhere during an emergency. But if we, you know, if it ever happened here, if we had a great roster for ourselves, I think that would be good. And I think that we should. I mean, we live in the country, so I think people are pretty resilient. They have redundancies built in. But if we did some kind of personal preparedness, I think that might be good too.
yeah, and it's one of the key messages in our be prepared, so
Yeah.
to all our plans and so on. So a lot of work to do, and the last thing that was on my wish list is updating the emergency response plan. Bringing it to take advantage of today's technology. We've done a lot of it. We put it on the website. But what we found is we've got a lot of information there that's just not practical to publish in a document, right? If you need to get a loader or a mechanic or something, you do it on Google.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so a lot of that documentation, which requires update and maintenance and because these are controlled
Oh,
documents.
yes, yes.
So if we point to you know, things like, let's take advantage of our search engines and
Yeah.
take advantage of the pre-existing relationships we have through the public works. They know where all the equipment is, they know where all the service providers are. We don't need to publish it, we
No.
can simply have
Yeah,
that.
we
as
would
a-
have appendices to the actual plan, right? So,
Well, we do that, and but even appendices, once an appendix, you probably plan, so you're subject to
but
maintenance.
you don't necessarily have to publish that, right?
No,
That plan
you
can be
can
on the-
have that as a backup
Yeah.
for sure, but
I think the other thing is that we just need 100% to make sure that all of the contact information is current. So we have to be testing it, you know, once or twice a year. What's the protocol for that?
Yep, I think, I'll be leaving Jason a long list of things to do and suggestions.
I think we only do once a year.
So I think that's it, that covers it, thank you, Donna.
So 7E, receive an update on required action items provided by the CAO and the fire chief.
Yeah, so I did go through the teams, fire department operational task list that the fire chief and I share. I think also the CMC's in there as well. So we went through a number of the items that have been outstanding. And I say that we are working on the ENR by the establishing and retention bylaw. A lot of it had to do with all the other paperwork, like some of the agreements that we're working on now to make sure that they're in place, to make sure they're incorporated properly in the ENR. We're reviewing policies and procedures as per the rules that were in there, so we are taking away some of those boxes. Good, to get those done.
And receive status update on the MDRA emergency funding from the 2025 June storm event.
I believe we're in pretty good shape there. There's some final questions, maybe, we did submit a report. We're going back and forth on some final questions with, the MDRA, but, do you have any updates on that with respect to the?
I got a phone call today where they'd like to have the answers to those questions. All of the supplementary information that they
Right.
asked for, they would like that.
The conversation with us?
They want the documents as soon as possible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll work on that.
Yes.
Yes.
And
They
good job,
gave us a list of.
I gave us a list of what they want.
Yes.
Okay, and then
an additional.
additional list, and sort of, this is one of the issues, they sort of, bleed you to death on what document. You give us that document, you provide those documents, then we need these documents, and when you give them those documents, these other documents, so. We've been compliant, I think we do have it, we've been able to answer all the questions and provide all the documents, but it would have been nice to know at the onset what everything was, so.
I think that was addressed during the Roma conference
Yeah.
where we met with the road
Yeah.
team. So we're trying on this end to push back as well.
Yeah, one-stop shop would have been wonderful.
Yes.
Resolutions to be considered, so.
There are a number of motions still on that paper. As motions. I think only you have them.
We have the,
Yay. Do we need a motion to,
for the firefighters, right?
for Zach and Ryan, for Zach to be promoted and for Ryan and Skylar to be appointed?
Are you looking for the motions?
Yes. Does that have the adjournment motion in the end?
Yeah. Sorry.
That the committee receives the fire chief's recommendation.
Oh, we got a couple blanks on the right.
Okay. That would work out.
See what happens when Santana's sick. She's at home watching this laughing.
Job security is something.
Yeah, but I guess it's not in the report because it's not in the report time period. But the happening on the weekend, well, good.
Yeah,
It was well.
Yeah.
well attended.
It was full for spectators for sure.
With, Alex roughed you up a little bit.
We tried.
Yeah. Good.
We're gonna have a rematch.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Really well attended by the community too, so.
No, I think the weather was more favorable, it would have been.
Yeah,
better
for
attended,
sure.
but It was fun.
The ice was good
Yeah, this was really.
with the Zamboni, yeah. Yeah, it's really nice.
Ice resurfacing.
It's resurfacing. It's really-
Yeah, hopefully I'm only- I've been corrected too many times that I let it slide now.
It's resurfacing.
My crew wants to do it again.
It's fun too. Well, you know, we can pick on other groups too to challenge, right? So, yeah, I can.
Any
skate my
other
way.
sport.
Do you skate? No.
I skate enough that I don't fall. I also don't enjoy it,
You skate,
Yeah.
Jason?
no, I don't,
Okay.
and I can't do anything funky like
No.
backwards or hoppy stops or like quick turns or anything.
Well, I have toe picks, so
You got like flip flop ice skates?
Do they have those?
I don't know.
With like those rattle.
it was really nice to see the little ones out though skating and that was fun.
They had a blast.
Yeah. The goalie was particularly spectacular.
So we will move in a second that the committee receives the fire chief's recommendations to promote Zach Mason to captain and then hire Ryan Moore and Skylar Monette to the volunteer fire department and further recommends that council endorses these recommendations. We move in a second. All in favor? That brings us to adjournment. We'll move around in second. By Donald. Second by Alan. Let the meeting be adjourned at 6:27. All in favor? Good. Good. Thanks, everybody.